English shorthand, dictation, parliamentary debates passage, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, start. Sir, on behalf of my colleague Dr. Jitendra Singh, I move that the bill further to amend the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act 1946 as passed by Lok Sabha be taken into consideration. Sir, the rationale behind this bill requires a little explanation. This bill had debated at length the Lokpal Bill, and in the Lokpal Bill there were two specific provisions. One was seeking to introduce a provision for the appointment of the Lokpal and the members of the Lokpal. In the same bill, corresponding arrangements were also made to the CVC law as also to the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. The Delhi Special Police Establishment Act is a legislation of 1946 under our constitutional law and order is a state subject. So a question had arisen: what would happen to the employees of the central government if there were areas of charges against an employee of the central government in view of the federal structure which we were creating? Will a state police go into the conduct of the employee of a central government? Now, this was considered as contrary to federal principle. So initially, the central government must have its own police force, and this police force was only to investigate cases against public servants who were employees of the central government. Thereafter, the jurisdiction expanded and the CBI was created by this Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. This was the rationale behind the act. Thereafter, I expanded, and besides cases of corruption and criminal misconduct against employees of the central government, the CBI started investigating other cases that were also signed to it. Then a question arose: can the CBI, being a police force of the central government, investigate case in rational to a state? So a special power has been given under that act that he can do it, but the consent of the state is necessary because federal principles come into force. The Supreme Court, through its constitution bench, brought one change in the law that you require that consent of state if there is some incident in the state to get the CBI to investigate. But in a case a High Court or the Supreme Court, pursuant to its constituent power, that is Article 226 and Article 32, directs that a case be investigated by the CBI, then even if it is a case of a state, they do not need the consent of the state. Now, people have made comments at various times that this is contrary to the federal principle, because if constituent power of the court is a constitutional power, the federalism is also a constitutional power. But that is not the debate that we are concerned with. Stop.